So, this particular podcast is entitled Recovery is More Than Just Dropping a Load. Again, recovery is more than just dropping a load. I'm Joseph F. Price, life coach Joseph F. Price. My friends know me as Joey P. Let's get started. Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Or good evening, everybody, wherever you are. I don't know where you are, and I don't know what you were doing before you turned into this. And some of you, I don't really want to know what you've been doing. Anyway, I'm glad to have you here today. Today is like something that I kind of get passionate about whenever I talk with guys, because this is really the essence of what recovery is. You know, so often people that we work with have an addictive mindset that they kind of bring to the party. And an addictive mindset is one that really doesn't have much of a pain tolerance and is seeking relief the moment that there's a little bit of boredom or a little bit of stress or perhaps a little bit of loneliness. And so to become healthy, it's a reversal of the addictive process. And it's not something that happens instantaneously. It's not something that happens in blasts. It's not something that you can work up like a lather and then all of a sudden get some kind of results. I think you know what I'm saying. So, today we're going to talk about what really true recovery is and how you can actually begin true recovery. And it really comes down to it's a journey, in a word. It's a journey, it's a lifestyle. You know, let's start with the fact that your life is a journey and your life is a lifestyle. And unfortunately, however it happened, I'm going to say it's not your fault. It got hijacked, and that's how you got addicted. Your mind got hijacked, and basically it went down some other kind of journey. So you're on a different journey, and it's a journey that's not healthy. And so you can continue to go down there, or you can just decide that you want recovery and then embrace the fact that it is a journey. And I don't mean to say that, but like 10 times, but I'll probably say it 100 times before we're finished, because of the fact that that's what's missing in the recovery efforts of people that are failing over and over again. If you've been struggling with porn for like 25 years or 5 years or 4 years or really any more than 90 days, it's because you haven't embraced the journey and created a journey. Like, for real. Like, if you were going to go on a journey, you would have a map, you'd know where you were going, you know how you were going there, you'd have the resources to get there, you'd make sure you'd have more than enough resources to get there, etc. But you know what most people do on their porn journey is, I don't want to do this. I don't want. I don't want to do. It's all about all that. I don't want to do this. Or is it this one? Can I get a day? I got 3 days. I got 3 days. Can I get 4 days? I got 5 days. Can I get 30? I got 30 days. And it's like on and on and on and on and on and on and rinse and repeat. And that's not really the journey. That's like some kind of wish confusing merry-go-round that you go around in circles and over and over and over again. It's a rinse and repeat cycle. Actually, what it's called the addictive cycle. And you're just basically on it. So recovery is about getting off of the addictive cycle. Now, we can't do all of the journey. I'm not even going to break that down. But let's talk about certain things in the journey. Now, if you were going to take a journey, let's start from the beginning. The first thing that needs to happen in a journey is you have to make a decision. Okay? You have to make a decision that you're going to go somewhere. And then you make a commitment. And then you figure out how to get there. And then you come up with a plan to get there. And then you execute that plan. And life being what it is, it's not going to work out the way that you executed the plan. So you're not a dummy. You already know it's not going to happen that way. So you already have contingencies in place and something else that you're going to do. And even if it doesn't work out, and even if you don't have a contingency plan, you know it wasn't going to work out. So you're ready to respond. So out of that mindset, you begin the journey. And it begins with one step. Now, let's back up for a second. I mean, it's not like you haven't taken the journey before. You've taken a journey. Your addiction is a journey. You didn't get to where you are today. You didn't get to where you were yesterday, nor did you get to there last year or the year before that. You got there years ago, and you rinsed and repeated certain behavior that reinforced certain behavior that got you to where you have no control over yourself, no control over your behavior, and you're about ready to wreck yourself in some cases. Okay? So you got to embrace the fact that you didn't get to where you got to in a moment. Second of all, you can't use the same mentality that you're using every day in the problem to solve the problem. Einstein said it himself. The same thinking that got you there is never going to be the same thinking that's going to get you out of there. So you got to embrace the fact that you got a pornified mindset that was developed over time. And part of the journey is dispensing with that pornified mindset. You got to get rid of it. And that's something that you do one step at a time. Now, there's a lot of guys out there that this concept of a journey and a lifestyle, this is like some kind of brand new concept because they're practicing some kind of streak mentality where they're trying to get some kind of streak, or they're trying to get 30 days, or they're trying to get 4 days, or they're trying to get 5 days, or something of that nature. Look, you got the wrong goal. The goal is to be healthy. The goal is to be, again, a man that your mama would be proud of. That's the real goal, not this streak. And first of all, that's not even the real goal there. You got that whacked. The real goal is not that I won't do the addictive thing that I'm addicted to. In your case, it's porn. You're at not doing it today, or not doing it for 30 days, or maybe not doing it. And I'm at the place where you don't even want to do it. That's where the victory happens. You don't even want to do it. You don't even have a desire to do it. Where you have grown up and out of it. And that's part of the journey. And see, all this chasing after a streak or chasing after a day or any of that, that has nothing to do with the journey. Part of the journey that got you to where you are is that you've reinforced and created patterns in your life. You've created levels of tolerance that are lower than the average person. You don't have the level of tolerance for pain that the average person has. You don't have the level of tolerance for boredom that the average person has. That's part of the journey. Part of the journey is learning that you need to learn how to connect with people a little bit more. That loneliness of hiding out and doing porn and masturbating, that's allowed you to develop habits that are preventing you from connecting with people. In so many cases, it's causing people to lose confidence that they're not able to connect with people. So, you got to where you are in a journey. You got to where you are because of mental conditioning. You got to where you are because of a mindset. And one of the things you got to do, you got to change your mindset. You've got to become more aware. You've got to become cognizant of what you're doing to yourself, cognizant of what is going on with the addiction itself. So part of recovery, the first part of the recovery journey, is raising your awareness. And if all you're doing is taking cold showers and looking for some kind of streak, if that's your idea of awareness, you're really missing out. Because part of this journey is growing and developing a sense of mastery over yourself. What you have to learn how to do is you have to learn how to, along the way in this journey, you have to learn how to master your biggest craving. You have to learn how to master your biggest desire to create self-sabotage for yourself. That's what you have to do. That's what the journey is about. And so many of us are chasing the next streak of the next day, when in fact we're not on a journey chasing after the next right move. Got to get rid of the pornified mind. That's the journey. Sobriety is not necessarily the goal. Not wanting anything is the goal. And it takes time. It's done with conditioning. The same way you got to where you got to, one step at a time, it's the same way that you're going to get from where you are. It's not going to happen. It's not a one and done thing. It's something that you have to do daily. You have to decide each and every day that my life is worth what it's going to take for me to recover. My life is worth sitting down and reading a book. My life is worth what it is to go out and learn some new skills, to go out and to take some new kinds of risks, to go out and to learn how to connect with people, to go out and to confront some of my fears. That's the kind of thing that you're going to have to do if you really want to recover, and if you really want to go from where you are right now to where you really want to go. You're going to have to learn some new strategies of how to manage yourself. You're going to have to learn how to meet your needs in more elegant ways. Addiction is really a matter of how it's a tool that you use to regulate yourself. It's a tool that you use to meet your needs. You need to learn how to regulate yourself in a more elegant way. You need to learn how to meet your needs in a more elegant way. And that's what happens in the journey, when you take the journey. You see what these people are doing when they're trying to when they're trying to do this one and done streak. That's why it doesn't work. That's why you can do this for like 5 or 20 years and tell everybody that you've struggled. You've got to get yourself on a program. You've got to get yourself a coach like me. You got to get yourself something. You got to get yourself. They got group classes. They got all kinds of resources. That's how you get it done. You get it done because somebody who's done it will teach you how to do it. Why are you going to sit there and waste your time and waste 5 years trying to reinvent the wheel when the wheel has been already invented, and everything that you could think of to do on your own is probably the opposite of what you need to do? That's the amazing thing about addictive process, is that it's so counterintuitive. It's like everything that you think that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. But it's probably not what you need to do. And that's why you need to get into the book, so that you know what it is that you need to do and what it is that just makes sense, and that maybe you need to do it, but maybe not now. So the willpower and discipline game, that's what you use to engage in the tools that you learn through the recovery process, not as your whole basis of strategy. This is a journey. And first of all, as you go through this journey, you got to know that it's not your fault. You've been hijacked. Society hijacks your brain for their economic benefit. That's why there's sex all over the place. And you've just been hijacked. And it isn't your fault. And you should no longer hold that shame, because it isn't your fault. As long as you give it the meaning that it's your fault, you come up with the emotion that comes from it being your fault, and thereby that's going to dictate your quality of life. So I'm here to tell you, my friend, it's not your fault. It's your fault if you don't do anything about it, but it's not your fault too how you got here. Now, part of the journey is finding what's missing, finding how you got to doing porn in the first place. There's a reason why you got here. There's a reason why you're doing porn in the first place. There's something that you're escaping from. There are needs that you're fulfilling. You need to figure out how to fulfill those needs in a much more elegant way. That's what you need to do. And again, it's step by step, brick by brick. That's what you got to do. You didn't get there in one day. You're not going to leave there in one day. One of the things that we talk about in the recovery process is that the opposite of addiction is connection. And so that's one of the areas that you can start with today, is to decide that you're going to begin to connect with people more. Make one true friend every day. I mean, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about a Facebook friend, man. I'm talking about a real friend. All right? Make one new friend a day. Here's what the whole journey really comes down to. It's understanding yourself in the context of the addiction, learning new strategies, implementing those strategies. Many of them are not going to work. So you just continue until you find what works, and then you get the job done. And here's the deal. You need to really engage in a recovery strategy that's going to work, that's going to allow you to change your life, like A to Z recovery strategy. And the reason being is because as soon as you finish dealing with the porn issue in your life, then the blinders that the porn has had over your life get lifted, and you'll find out that your journey, because the porn journey is just an inner journey of your whole journey called your life. You'll find that there's a lot of things that have been neglected in your journey. So when you get rid of the porn, you'll find out that that's when it's really, that's like step one. So, I encourage you to really engage and do what you need to do to truly begin a constructive journey off of porn, which is an A to Z strategy. There's so many out there, but it's not you sitting in the house. If you need to contact me, I can tell you tons of them. What I do is I do the part that helps people get off of porn. And one of the parts of the journey I forgot to mention that it's a three-phase journey. And a lot of times people don't get it as the three phases. So phase one is all the stuff that I talk about as a coach, the behavior modification strategies, behaving differently, raising your awareness, all that kind of stuff like that. That's phase one. And this exists pretty much in any kind of addictive recovery model. Phase one is the behavior changes. And then phase number two is the heart change, the healing. Hurt people. You're hurt. Why are you hurt? Dealing with some of your inner demons, healing, forgiving, letting some of that stuff go. Understanding that you've made decisions in your life based out of a juvenile mindset that don't make sense, but yet you believe those things today. There's a lot of decisions that we made about how the world is when we were younger and juvenile, and that's not really how it is. And unless you challenge those parts of yourself, you're never going to actually make a mature decision. And so much of us are still 5 years old. And so many people that are engaged in pornography are still 8, 9, 10, 6, 7, 12. There's parts of you that have never grown up from the moment that you first saw porn. So, that's what the journey's about. It's about making that entire shift in your behavior, in your healing. And then the third phase is that exciting phase when you do what it was you were supposed to do. You do what it is that God put you here to do, whatever your purpose is. And I could put it up or put it this way: to passionately, aggressively pursue an extraordinarily fulfilling, committed, vibrant life that really matters. Yeah. When you're doing phase 3, now you're recovering, because it's living. And I'll just say it again. I probably won't say it exactly that way because I don't usually say it exactly that way. But basically, aggressively, passionately pursuing a fulfilling, committed, vibrant lifestyle and life that matters. That's phase 3. So again, changing your behavior, changing how you do stuff, healing, and passionately pursuing the life that matters. That's what recovery journey is about. So if you will, that's what we're here to do. Come on and join us. I hope you have a nice day. I've got some really good guests coming up in the pipeline, so we're going to be dishing out some good stuff for you continuously. But again, I invite you to embrace the journey, embrace the fact that recovery is one step, one day at a time, and it's a journey. You didn't get here overnight, and you're not going to get to where you want to go overnight. So let's begin the journey. Let's take the journey, and let's take some people with us on the journey. Until next time, I'm Joseph F. Price, Joey P. We'll see you soon. God bless.